Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Real quick, if you don't already subscribe to our YouTube channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Lots of great content on the channel, lots of great content on the way. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you do already subscribe, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to start doing some shout outs. I've did a few already, but I'm going to start doing more shout outs for people who subscribe to the channel coming up in future episodes of the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. So please, if you don't subscribe, please consider subscribing. Okay, remember yesterday? Remember yesterday's podcast where I was talking about Daniel Bryan? Daniel Bryan, his contract's coming up, and Daniel Bryan said that he's kind of losing interest in professional wrestling. WrestleMania 37, he just wasn't totally into it. And he might be losing interest in professional wrestling. Remember when I said that maybe it's because he needs a change of pace? Maybe it's time for him to move on from the WWE. Maybe it's time for him to move on to try something else, to go to a different promotion. I mean, he's done all he could. He's done all he could in the WWE. Maybe it's time for him to, start fresh, try something new, try something different. Well, here, Wrestling Inc. article today. Daniel Bryan wants to wrestle for other companies when Daniel Bryan's WWE contract expires. So there, I was right. I was correct. I was 100%. I was just speculating, but it seems that my speculation is actually correct. Where I was saying that Daniel Bryan needs to, possibly, start fresh, get some new challenges, do something else, wrestle for a different promotion. And I mentioned AEW, I mentioned New Japan Pro Wrestling, but here, Wrestling Inc. Let's read some of this article. It says Daniel Bryan took part in a WrestleMania 37 meet and greet during WrestleMania week and talked about his contractual situation with the WWE. As transcribed by Fightful, Bryan is looking at exploring his options. Daniel Bryan stating, "My contract is up soon. We need to figure out what a good balance between home life and wrestling. I never want to stop wrestling. I love it. It's just figuring that out." Then he said, "It'd be interesting if I could wrestle in different companies and the WWE." So he's saying that, first of all, WWE is not going to let him wrestle for other companies. That's the first thing. So, I mean, he could wrestle for AEW and still wrestle for like New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if he's in WWE, he's got to wrestle for WWE. Everybody knows that. I think he knows that. But I don't think you know, he, I don't think he wanted to say what he really means because he doesn't want to burn bridges with the WWE. That's again me speculating. So he said it'd be interesting if I could wrestle in different companies and WWE. That's actually something I'm trying to weasel my way into right now. In an interview back in March, Daniel Bryan expressed an interest in wrestling ROH Pure Champion Jonathan Gresham and AEW star Jungle Boy, who just headlined AEW Dynamite in a losing effort to Darby Allin. For years, Bryan has also mentioned his interest in wrestling for Lucha Libre promotion, CMLL, where he hoped to. Whoop, where he lost my place here for a second, where he hoped to work the promotion's WrestleMania style anniversary show against a legendary Blue Panther. Bryan's WWE contract expires in the fall. As we previously reported, he signed a 3-year deal in 2018. So he's looking to move on. He's looking to do new things. He's looking to take on new opponents. There are many great opponents out there for Daniel Bryan, and I think he's looking past the WWE. He's looking beyond the WWE right now. I don't think he's going to sign with the WWE. I know because if he signs with the WWE, he's going to have to probably maintain a full-time schedule. But I mean, he could sign with. He doesn't have to sign with anybody. He could just be an independent wrestler, show up for 2 months in AEW, show up in Ring of Honor, and take on Jonathan Gresham. He could show up at CMLL down in Mexico. He could go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He could do whatever he wants. There's so many people out there, so many great potential opponents for Daniel Bryan. And again, he's only 39 years old. He's only 39 years old. And there's a lot left in the tank for Daniel Bryan. And I think once his contract is up, which is up in the fall. I don't expect him to sign with the WWE. That's just my gut feeling. I think he's going to move on. I think we're going to see him in AEW. We're going to see him. Um, we're going to see him in Ring of Honor. His a lot of history in Ring of Honor. I would love to see him travel to Japan, as I said yesterday. But bottom line, I really don't think he's going to sign with the WWE. I think he's going to move on, and we're going to see some fresh opponents for Daniel Bryan. I think it's going to really invigorate him. It's going to get him really excited again about professional wrestling. Because, like I said, right now in the WWE, there's nothing left for him to do there. I think he's accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish in the WWE, and I think it's more about finding newer opponents. It's all about professional wrestling. It's not just about sports entertainment. It's about professional wrestling and finding new, exciting, fresh opponents that's going to really make him, really get into professional wrestling again. Because, like you said yesterday, he's kind of, just the interest is just not completely there anymore. And I think we're going to see him move on. I think we're going to see him move on when his contract is up. MLW, starting, let's go into MLW, July 10th. They are going to be wrestling in front of crowds again, which is very exciting. So MLW, July 10th, 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, the former ECW Arena. They will be wrestling in front of a crowd. It's not going to be a huge crowd, limited tickets, but still, it's in front of a crowd. So congratulations to MLW on that. And speaking of MLW, a huge, huge, huge match. May 5th for the World Middleweight Championship. Lio Rush defending his title against the guy he took it from, Myron Reed. I'm a big Myron Reed fan. I love Myron Reed. They had a tremendous match a few months ago where Lio Rush defeated Reed for the MLW World Middleweight Championship. And Myron Reed's going to get the title back on May 5th. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know how long Lio Rush's contract is with MLW, if he even has a contract. I know he's not there for long term. He's had a couple of matches which he's won, but Myron Reed will regain the MLW World Middleweight Championship against Lio Rush on May 5th. So that's a huge, huge match on May 5th. I'm really looking forward to that. Good job, Court Bauer, for keeping them apart. He kept them apart for a number of months. And, I was wondering when Myron Reed's going to get his title rematch. And I know Myron Reed has hands full with Contra, but now we're getting it May 5th. So good job, Court Bauer. Good job, MLW. I can't wait for this one. This is going to be a tremendous, tremendous match between Lio Rush and Myron Reed. I cannot wait for that. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.